I think I've got a black cat. Come on, get low focus. Oh, shit, I can just see it still. There. Oh, fuck's sake. Bloody hell. Well, I walked down to where it was, so it would have been just around there, where that metal box thing is, skulking along there. So it's either pushed into the woods here, or crossed over the road over that way, so I haven't really seen anything go over the road, so I'd say it's in there somewhere. And this is just on the other side of the road, looking the other way towards the west, I'm guessing. Obviously the sun being over that way. You just see some cows grazing in the fields over there. Don't think I can be arsed walking over there. And just down here you've got the mill. And over that way, Fingringhoe and Rowhedge on this side of the river. Believe it or not, Essex isn't completely flat, as people would tell you. This isn't the best example, but there's some proper rolling hills down there. You find them in northwest sort of Castle Hedingham area as well. Just a random one for anyone who's coming up for this, believes we're going into another doomsday situation in the near future. Believe it or not, you can actually eat nettles. You have to pinch them and then fold them up, and you have to be aggressive with it, otherwise you will get stung, but it's a little survival tip. Just in case we do go into some zombie apocalypse situation soon. Well, that's another amazing place that I found in Essex. All the years I've been here, continues to surprise me as I travel around exploring. So that's Rowhedge down that way. Got the yellow submarine in the centre. Well, just only the stern of it really. Just got a kayaker coming on the river now. And then looking over to that way, you've got Fingringhoe. Obviously there's a church. To the bottom right of a church, you'd have what's it called? The Crown I think it's called. Yeah, that's about it really. I think it's the River Blackwater, this one. And just come across this mill outside Rowhedge Village Hall. Fantastic job. Proper like animals are farming wood. Sort of traditional English views. Lovely. So this is Fingringhoe. Believe it or not, there is actually a place called Fingringhoe. And look at the size of this. That is a massive oak tree. Must be absolutely ancient, that. I don't think the camera's quite picking up just how big it actually is. Yeah, Ben should put it in context. Honestly, the size of that, the girth on that is huge. That's what she said in Fingringhoe. Yeah. There's like a pond there, a willow tree. Wind in the willows. Because I've missed tea, as we say, in the, well, not northern but Midlands, dinner down south, I'm going to stop for a quick dinner break. Well, really unlucky there. I've had a look back on the footage and you can see like a black outline, but I know what I saw. So just over that direction, could see it walking along there. I think when I paused the shitty footage I had earlier, you'll be able to see a black outline. Yeah, 100%. That looked the size of a big black cat. So, kind of glad I didn't catch it properly, so it doesn't really confirm it, because even if there is a big black cat out here, do you really want people fucking searching for it? Just let it crack on, you know what I mean? I'm sure other people have different opinions, but that's mine. Maybe I might see it again, we'll see. But there's a road, really busy, fast road just there. So, yeah, it's obviously slipped off into the woods somewhere along there. This is St Andrew's Church at Fingringhoe. It's got the lavender there, obviously dying off as autumn comes in. Must be a really healthy place for kids. You know, this big oak tree down there and the pond. Yeah. Essex, mate. So that's the 3 Saxon swords. I can't remember which king it was, but that's the history behind it. I'll look into it more later, but... Right, so I went over to sort of Rowhedge and Fingringhoe sort of area today. On the road down there, well, I went down there, went to Fingringhoe. The kids were leaving school at that time, so couldn't be doing parking up and taking photos of that pond when all the kids were around. So I decided to just crack on, got down to Rowhedge. When I got to Rowhedge, there's all these bloody kids running around half naked, jumping into the river. So kids are obviously like kryptonite to a photographer, especially a single male photographer. Unfortunately, just, you know how it gets. But thankfully I went down to the far end of Rowhedge first, took some pictures of that yellow submarine, which was the main reason why I went back. And when I came back, I sat down, had a brew, and there was, I think I walked, yeah, that was right, some jet skis started coming down the river. So I walked forward to start taking some photos, and some lad there was from the Midlands himself, because he recognised my tattoo. And we started chatting, and from then on, because I had like an anchor, I had someone to chat to, it kind of made me less suspicious, you know, than being on my own. So I started cracking on, taking photos of the jet skis, people on the paddle boards, rowing boats, even like the young ones jumping in, and because they're all jumping into the river, and I got some good photos of them kind of like mid-air jumping in without anybody really noticing me or bothering me. So yeah, great. It was a fantastic way. You got to remember, summer's nearly over now. Give it another week or two, it's going to really start cooling down, and you know, we're having the first bit of real heat we've had this year. So it's great to see people out. And also, me and my mate were talking about it earlier, there is potential talk about another cough scenario this winter, well, this fall, should we call it, along with, you know, the potential economic troubles that are coming. So, not to be too doom and gloom, but this is the reason why I do what I do, you know, because I'm trying to record the normal world in case we ever go into some dystopian nightmare like potentially we could do in a month or two. Yeah, I won't dwell on that too much. At the beginning of the video, there's no chance anybody's making that out unless you've got the capability to zoom in on it on your iPhones or whatever. I know what I saw, but basically I was on this bridge taking a photo of this mill, and over in the field I could just see this like sort of dog-sized sort of cat skulking along. It was far too big to be like a domestic cat. I mean, I'm not saying it was like the size of a bloody lion or something, but it was a big cat, 100%. And sadly, I couldn't really get the footage because I had to switch lenses because I was on my short lens at the time. It just wasn't meant to be. And to be honest with you, I'm really grateful that I got some rubbish footage of it, because I don't really care. If there are big cats in the area, so what? Fair enough, there might be a school nearby and all that, and but they keep away from humans, really, unless you start prodding around too much and going looking for them.
you know, I didn't go into the woods looking for it. I just think personally we've done enough on this in this country to get rid of all our predators, and I'll tell you what my main concern as well is the kind of idiots that go down there looking for that big cat would have no respect for nature at all, and if they caught it, they'd probably torture it just for a laugh. So, you know, I'm grateful that's not going to go like viral. You know, if I got some good footage of it, I know what I saw. And there was that story in East London where there was some gangs of Africans, you know, gang of Tyrones, going down to the woods around. I think it might have been around the London airport, but they were literally going around with dogs, finding foxes, crashing them out in the middle of the night, and then catching them into a cage and then setting them on fire just for a laugh. Yeah, these are the kind of sick, twisted people we've got in this country now. And also, I'm not saying it's just Africans. Europeans can be bastards as well. I mean, we used to do bear baiting once upon a time. How cruel was that? So all round, I'm glad I've got some really rubbish footage, and I know what I saw, so that's it. Rowhedge and Fingringhoe, beautiful places. I'm really glad that I went, because I could see Rowhedge from Rowhedge when I went there, and I kind of just penciled it in to go to another time, and it certainly didn't disappoint. It's a lovely little place. The only thing that really disappointed me about it was that the Africans are moving in there. A little village on the outskirts of Colchester. They're even moving in there. You know, like, I'm not talking like just one. I saw quite a lot of Africans there. And the overspill from Colchester's flooding in, so they've moved out from London into Colchester, and now they're spreading. I need to do a video about Colchester soon, because it's that place is knackered. It really is. It's there's a lot of homeless. There's a lot of unbelievable levels of diversity has crept in over the last couple of years. It's really starting to look like a foreign country at times. You see all the English people sat having a pint outside various pubs along the high street. But if you look in between, it's just loads of foreigners, basically. Yeah, that's about it. Cheers.